K-Rock Mid-Atlantic Rock Reviews. I'm here with Ghost of War, and guys, this was a real special set tonight. It was an acoustic set, which we have seen Thane and Ronnie do acoustic before. This is the first time with the full band. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
You want me to say something? Okay, sure. I will. Yeah, it was great, and me and Thane had done our little thing before, and we just thought, our little thing. We're Italian, we don't have little things. Especially him. Yeah. But yeah, so we just it was fun with me and Thane did it. We did it on the fly once or twice, but we figured we're Ghost of War. There's 4 of us, and what one does, we all do. And these guys are our brothers, and we're their brothers, and we wanted to include them in it. And Jim gets a free set of bongos out of it, So I mean, no, it's great.
First time I've ever been on a set of bongos before.
He's did a great job.
He's never played the bongos before, and he took to it, like a fish to beer. And it was a good
like a fish to beer. Ronnie's got a way with words because he's on the internet a lot.
Fish like beer.
If you follow these guys, you're going to see Ronnie posting a lot of stuff on Facebook, and fish to beer is a kind of an interesting one.
Well, I mean, Jim has fish that drink beer. They're cool fish.
I store them down here.
Jim's like the George
Some people
Harrison
have tapeworms, and he's got fish.
Jim's like the George Harrison of the band. Jim's the quiet one, but he's the wildest one. He's not going to let anybody know tonight, so He's got quite a wild side, but he's got that sweet, gentle giant way about him. But the bongos, we've had to harness the beast a bit. Jim is the machine that drives our band. Without him, we wouldn't be Ghost of War. Obviously, if you have the new Only Death Is Real, which you can get at Amazon, CD Baby, or iTunes, Jim's a monster on the drums, and so for him to scale back like he has on the bongos and congas and such, it's amazing. He did an outstanding job. Good job.
I mean, I came in here tonight. I didn't know what to wear. I was like, I normally wear bloody death metal T-shirts.
Yeah,
and what do you wear when you're playing bongos?
And he refuses to wear the sombrero. So
Prince.
Sure. And I haven't talked to these guys yet. I mean, and there's a nice little crowd downstairs of people, and I think everybody I talked to said the same thing, and they really want to hear an acoustic CD of our original. So maybe and I already had the title picked out anyway. So we're going to be it'll be Ghost of War. Pull the plug, yeah.
I can tell you, we want to hear more of it. We were super impressed with tonight's set, and especially finding out that was your first time playing the bongos in a live set, because I was actually thinking to myself how good it sounded all put together.
We just got them last week.
Brand new. Just breaking them in. If you have to break in bongos, who knows? But I don't know how that works. Now, I was interested to hear tonight, Ronnie, you do a special song that you kind of do a special dedication for, and tonight you were kind of wondering if you're going to hold it together.
And I didn't. I absolutely fell apart as usual. Yeah.
Can you tell folks that may not know your band a little bit about that song and what it was like tonight performing it?
That was really cool, man, because there's certain parts of the song, singers do weird singer stuff, and I like to stay as street level as I can, but yeah, it's a real personal thing to me, as most CDs, and when writers do stuff, whether it's whatever their artistry is. So this album was actually, Dane and the boys gave me the music, and all the lyrics and all that stuff, harmonies and everything, was written in about 6 days. And it was actually as my mother was dying, she was in a coma and stuff like that, so I kind of sat next to her and wrote the whole album lyrically, because I had the music I had on my iPod, so I stayed next to it for 6 days, and it's a concept of sorts about her leaving, and minus the 2 covers that are on the album, and which Thane wrote, which gets outstanding reviews from everyone. It's kind of just a little story. Each song is a story that kind of goes through, as we're exiting life. You know what I mean? And so it's very personal. It's about her, and she was my biggest supporter in music and stuff like that. So.
Lost in my mind, I can feel its despair. Frozen, forgotten, your beautiful lies. Let not your broken heart be troubled again.
it's very cool, and it's one of the things you almost regret writing it like that. But you know what? It wouldn't have been written like that if she wouldn't have died, and so it inspired me to do it, and everyone can kind of feel the emotion and stuff like that. So there's plenty of bands out there that you listen to a song and you hear and you go, I know what that guy's saying. Like I feel like his girlfriend left him. I feel that pain. So a lot of people have said that, for just being local Mid-Atlantic guys, when people give me that kind of feedback from it, it's real cool, it's real special, and especially like Beautiful Lies, it's a real good song. So
now, speaking of Mid-Atlantic guys, you guys are from Gettysburg, and I noticed you have one of the coolest mic stands. It's got almost I can't tell if you have. I've seen you so many times, but it's the skulls with looks like a Civil War.
Tell them what they're called.
Keppies.
This
is our Aaron Kepi. He is the Civil War master. Yes, I am. He's actually a reenactor.
And I'm Rev War. I go back a little further.
Now, does Ghost of War have anything to do with the fact that you're from Gettysburg? Is there any kind of Civil War reference in the name at all, or is that
kind of?
Well, it was. There's always everybody's always asking about the band and things, stuff like that, and we'll do this with Mid-Atlantic Rock right here. We want to set the story straight because we've been asked about our resume and Wikipedia and all that shit. Patreon. This is Ghost of War right here. These guys. Thane started the band. Thane lives in Gettysburg, PA. We're all from Baltimore.
I live
We're all born in Baltimore. But Thane and Jim have been smart enough to move to Gettysburg, PA. And
Gettysburg 10 years.
Yeah. So, but Thane actually, the idea of this band was Thane. He said, "Look, we went to a project whatever," and he got with me. From me, we got Jim, we got Gary. That's it. This is Ghost of War. It's kind of like I'm not being disrespectful, but Dave Mustaine doesn't get talked about much about being in Metallica unless Dave's talking about it. So this is Ghost of War. This album was written by us. And so that being said, knowing that we were from Gettysburg, it was a strategic thing on Dane's part where he said,
Well, it was actually something pretty cool. Was occasionally in life you play in bands get named certain things. Usually at least one player in the band's gonna be like, "We're gonna name our band that." Okay, and that's just what it is. We were playing in a band called Holy Hell. It was a great concept, Ronnie. Holy Diver, Heaven and Hell.
It was Dio
tribute. That's how we got together. And when this actually come out, I think Ronnie actually spit out the actual Ghost of War put together.
Well, I remember exactly. I said Warmonger.
Right, Warmonger, because I had told him too. I was in a band, that had war references. There's a lot of military in the family. I had told him, and we talked about, it would be awesome to have war in the name some way and Warmonger and all. And I also said something to him about, Gettysburg Ghost and stuff. And I think Ghost of War was just spit out.
But then, and of course, as big of a Slayer fan as I am, I didn't even think of the reference. So immediately everybody said, "You got a Slayer tribute?" Like,
that's actually plural. We do get that.
So it just stuck, and with everything from the concept of the band, where we're based out of, the imagery, the artwork, everything that we do, it always kind of twists. I mean, we're not going to have half-dead Confederate soldiers or something coming out of the grave, but it's a concept. You know what I mean? And at least my spin on it is a ghost, the ghost of war, like no more.
That. And that's another thing for the last couple of years. I've worked in Jägermeister, and Gettysburg's just it's a great location. It's where we are, and we're proud to be from up there. But we love Baltimore. Baltimore's fun.
You guys are a big draw down here. Every time we see you, you're always a big draw.
Well, we want to do. This was again, when we have our little band meetings. The idea was this. There's so many bands here in Baltimore, and they're great bands, all of them. There's some rotten ones, but there's all of those are good bands. And there's also a very good batch of Jaeger bands here in Baltimore, but there's a select group of clubs here in town, and everybody plays them, and it's like, you're at Club A this week, Club B next week, Club C after that.
We call it the
back to
Beltway
Club A.
circuit.
It's the Beltway circuit. So
Beltway
we right
circuit.
off the bat said we don't want to do that. So
Can't
we
do
want
the
to
Beltway
play.
circuit.
We want to play Baltimore this week. We're going to play Gettysburg next week. We're going to play Fredericton next week. We're going to play Cumberland the next week. And whoa, you guys were great tonight. When are you coming back? Like 6 weeks. What?
Yeah.
And keeps it fresh for us and them. You know what I mean? We don't want to come out here. Yeah. So it just keeps it fresh. And you know what, me and Gary and Thane as well, playing this area a lot and other bands, you oversaturate the place. And bands are still doing it, and you know what, they're great bands, but the scene around here is really limited in what you get and what you give. You know, people love you to death, but they go, I didn't get to see you tonight, but you guys are coming back in a week or two, so we'll catch you then. And we don't want that. You know, we want everybody to come out every time because money's tight, times are hard, you know, and, you know, Ghost of War's in town tonight. Let's go see them because they won't be back for 6 weeks. And, you know, it works out like that sometimes. It's real cool. You know, it's kind of like the old days, you know, when we used to see Rat Child's Play and stuff like that.
So what's the big shows you got coming up you want to tell people about
Fame.
the next month or so?
We actually, the next actually bigger show that we got is with Tim Ripper Owens. And that'll be in Frederick at the 6 Club 611 Cafe. And we'll be direct support for Ripper. Shout out to our buddy Zach. He's a good agent out there, Extremity Retainer. After that, we're going to be doing Spring Stampede with Modern Superstar and
Redland,
Red Lamb and what's some of the
Lizzie Borden's on it?
Oh, and beautiful
Yeah.
Demolished. It's going to be a really, really, really great show.
That's DK Revels.
Raven's on it.
Then,
DK
not on that,
right?
Icar
Yeah.
Switch.
Icar Switch is on that. Now, speaking of Icar Switch, they're our friends too. They're actually Paul Diaz.
If you get the chance, get out and see Ghost of War live. We see them all the time, and I would say get out and see them acoustic live now too, if you get the chance.
Buy our CD.
Buy their CD. And let me close with this. Where's the
Thought
best
you were gonna
place?
bite our ass.
Where's the best place for people to find your guys' music? Where do you want them to go?
Hey.
GhostofWarArmy.com. Ghost of War.